Well, all right. Brock Purdy and the 49ers going to be playing the Seattle Seahawks in the first round of the playoffs. Should be a very fun game. So what's going to happen? I mean, one nice thing about evaluating this game is we've actually seen these two teams play twice before. So first, let's talk about what happened in those games. The first game, San Francisco won 27-7. This is the box score of the 49ers offense, as that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, is going to be the offense. And again, I don't know how much to take away from it. We'll go over it, but I don't know how much I care about it, just simply because, the Niners had two quarterbacks play in this game, neither of which were Purdy. Lance started this game. This was the one that he got hurt in. Garoppolo came in and actually played pretty well in this game. You had, Jeffrey Wilson, Jeff Wilson. I don't know why he's Jeffrey on Google. He had, 4.7 yards per carry. Running game was solid. Passing game was solid. But heading over to the most recent game, this was just a few weeks ago. This was actually week 15, and Purdy was in this game. So, to me, this is actually very notable and something that I definitely am paying close attention to what happened there, because that could be, could help us know what's going to happen the next time these two teams play. The Niners won this one as well. They won at 21-13, and this was the box score as Purdy had a good day. Again, Purdy hasn't had a lot of bad days in the NFL so far. He was 17 for 26, 217, 2 touchdowns, no interception. Definitely going to get it done. McCaffrey had 100 yards rushing on 4.2 yards per carry, but still, on 26 carries, that's pretty impressive. And then George Kittle had a monster day, 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. No one else really was too notable there in terms of the box score stats. But going over here, this is going to be the Pro Football Focus grades for every single offensive player for the 49ers that played in Week 15. And, couple of interesting things to note here, I think. For one, George Kittle, definitely a dominant day. He was number 1, grade over 90 in that one. You also have Brock Purdy. He's number 10 on this list, so he was solid, still a grade over 70. That's a good grade. There's just a lot of other players for the 49ers that played better than him in this one. Obviously, Trent Williams at 4. He's always going to be at the top of these kind of lists. At the bottom, nothing too crazy. Okay, Ayuk didn't have a particularly great day in this one. Aaron Banks didn't have a particularly great day in this one. But still, for the most part, it was a good day for the 49ers. Meanwhile, over for Seattle, there's, again, kind of a wide range of stuff here. One thing worth noting, though, is just the highest graded player for them was Ryan Neal with a 76.6 grade. The 49ers had 7 players with a higher grade than that in this game. So definitely the Niners had a better day. One thing worth noting is just all of those front 7 guys that are at the bottom of this list. That's the Kyle Shanahan effect, right? I mean, when you have all those guys at the bottom of the list with such low grades, a big part of that is just trying to stop the Shanahan scheme. You're going to have some trouble. So, okay, that kind of lets us know how the stats, how they graded, all that stuff. But what about the actual tape? We got to talk about the tape. And, this is definitely a game. I feel like the 49ers in general, definitely a team you have to watch the tape on to really understand how they work. But let's start off with this play, as this is, I think, a great example of what the 49ers do and what the Seattle Seahawks will do, and kind of why I think the 49ers should be able to move the ball pretty effectively in this game. So the Seahawks are going to be in a cover 3 zone, and listen, Seattle is not the same team that used to just always run cover 3 zone every single play. They don't do that anymore. That's fair to say. But they still love their cover 3 zone. They still do definitely run a decent amount, or just run zone coverage in general a decent amount. They will mix it up. They will throw some man in there now, because again, it's 2023 at this point. You can't just keep running your cover 3 zone every single play, although I'm sure they want to. But on this play, it is cover 3 zone, and the reality is Kyle Shanahan, what he's at his best in is coming up with concepts that destroy cover 3 zone. That's where he shines the most, and he obviously shines in a lot of different areas. The concept itself is nothing crazy. You have, Ayuk kind of running a clear out route. You also have Kyle Juszczyk, who's mostly running a setup route as well. Really, the idea is to get the ball in Christian McCaffrey's hands in a gap in coverage underneath. Right when this play begins, though, that's exactly what happens. As you see, McCaffrey turns around, and he is open right here. And Shanahan's scheme is working effectively is when the quarterback basically has the easiest of decisions to make, and that's what's happening here. All Purdy has to do is get rid of the football quickly, and some young quarterbacks struggle with that, but he does not. He's very good at that. Watch him get rid of the football quickly, and again, they're able to pick up a first down, and you better believe they will be able to do this stuff consistently when Seattle decides to play their cover 3 zone. This is the kind of thing that they can be so effective at, and it can really, could be the end of the game if Seattle does not have a plan for it. Like San Francisco ran this play in that game, which is, again, just a beautiful concept where first you're going to fake as though it's going to be a screen pass to the offense's left. So watch how that affects the safety that I've circled in black. Watch as when Purdy does fake it, you see that he's moving in. So you've got him out of the play. You've successfully, ran that fake screen. Now, though, you're going to run a fake screen towards the bottom of the screen. So watch over there. Watch all those Seattle players that have now had circled, as they try to look towards Christian McCaffrey. Watch how they also move towards the right, which then means that Kittle got wide open over the middle, and then Kittle does a great job running after the catch, getting into the end zone for a touchdown. Just really clever schematic stuff. And you better believe in this game, Kyle Shanahan, it's a playoff game, so he's going to have even more creative stuff than he typically has in a regular season game, which could be very exciting and definitely can, you can talk yourself into, if you're a 49ers fan, saying we're going to score 40 points in this game. But I do think there's ways Seattle can counter. I do. For one thing, something like this feels like a necessity for Seattle, is play more man coverage. I get it. That's not how you built your team, but I think in this game, you're going to want to play some man just because I think it just makes it harder on Purdy. And Purdy has been really good against zone coverage. He's been fine against man too, but just I think that these kind of things require a bit more precision, and that's where maybe you can try to get him to slip up. Something like this, it's going to be a one-on-one matchup. It's Brandon Ayuk running the route you see on the screen. And again, it's a pure one-on-one matchup. It's going to be Michael Jackson covering Ayuk here, and watch what happens. Purdy takes a snap. Purdy's going to look, and again, right here, is it going to get open? Maybe. If you time it perfectly, there's a chance it gets open. However, as you see, it looked like it was just the timing was off a little bit. To me, that's probably a chemistry thing, as Purdy was, new, just kind of, doesn't have the chemistry down just yet. But he's still relatively new and still doesn't have all the chemistry down just yet. So if you can kind of force him to have to be a little bit more perfect, that's how you can potentially get some issues, right? That's your job, is to make things more difficult on the quarterback and make it just more difficult of a throw to make. And so I think playing some man would probably do that. Not to say that it would fix all their issues, because again, then you can give up 1,000,000 yards through the ground. So you can't do it every play. I get it, obviously. But I think try to sprinkle more of those plays in there. And maybe the solution is just set up more third down and obvious passing situations to where you can just play your man coverage. One other thing I want to note, though, is something that happened in this game, and I've seen it happen a few times, is it feels like Purdy will give you a chance or two in each game to get a turnover. It seems like, he's been good at protecting the football, I would say, but definitely will make sort of one or two, rookie mistakes in a game. That's just, again, guys playing, he was nearly an undrafted rookie. The guy's playing in, his first handful of games in the NFL. He's going to make some mistakes, and that's where you can potentially capitalize if you're Seattle. Like on display, you can kind of see how it can work on paper, right? Kind of get underneath the two safeties. That could be a window to make the throw. Purdy takes the snap. He's going to look down the field, and you see right here, I mean, this is like really, I think, clearly not open. I think he just doesn't realize the safety is, paying attention here to this play, which is, it's a mistake, as Quandre Diggs is right there. You can't make this throw. Purdy tries to anyways and gets very lucky, as Diggs just dropped that football. Both safeties for Seattle have been very good this season. Ryan Neal is Pro Football Focus's top-rated safety. Quandre Diggs, obviously, he had the interception in overtime for the Seahawks that got them into the playoffs. So, if you make a mistake there, I think the reality is Seattle, if you get an opportunity like that, you have to take advantage, because I do think that San Francisco matches up well against you. I think San Francisco probably should score some points in this one. Going over to prediction time. So these are the numbers. Seattle's defensive points per drive on the season, a not great 2.15. San Francisco's offensive points per drive on the season is a great 2.34. Really good stuff by them. And if you combine the first two times these two teams played, it was 2.4 points per drive, or 48 points on the 20 drives that they played. And I always I take out the end of half drives when I do that stuff. So what's my prediction? I think it's gonna be a good offensive day. I'm predicting 2.6 points per drive. I am. I think that they're gonna be effective. I think Shanahan's gonna be even better in this one because he'll have nothing to lose, right? I mean, you got to use your best stuff now. It's the playoffs, so I think they'll score even more points. I'm gonna predict a 29-point performance in 11 drives. I do think the 49ers have a good day, but I think there still is hope for the Seattle, right? If you can get some third down stops and if you can get a turnover or two, I think that could change the game. But will 29 points be enough for the San Francisco 49ers to win this game? Well, you'll have to find out in my second half of this, second half, I guess part two was a better way to phrase it. In the part two of this video where I'm going to talk about the other side of the ball, Geno Smith, how he'll attack the 49ers defense and all of that stuff. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you're subscribed as that should be out in a couple days. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And yeah, let me know what you think of this video in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.